So hey, welcome to round one, and I actually, I actually play. I know this guy in real life. We go to the same card store, so I guess we're just playing round one in this daily together. um, oh gosh, he might be pretty well. Might just get me here because this hand's awful. I have to just ship it. A lot of multiples though. Look at that pretty double Hyphonia, triple dissolve. Oh, this hand's much better. Scrylands make hands so keepable in this deck. I no, I don't think so. He's better than he lets on. I don't know. He's probably playing heroic. He likes playing Weenie decks a lot, or not Weenie decks. Well, maybe Weenie decks. Yeah, just aggressive decks in general. He might actually just kill me with the soldier. I'm really glad it's not a bottoming this because I need the 5th land, but I need some removal spells before that, and I have 4 turns to draw an extra land. So he could be on mono white. He could be white blue or white red. It's not good for me. If he like enchants this heroic guy, I can downfall it next turn, but I'll take like 6 damage here, depending on what he enchants it with. If he doesn't enchant with anything, I just take 3. So maybe he has the double strike creature. If he plays the double strike creature, I'm just going to downfall it during my turn because I don't want him to God's Willing end of turn. Or in response to our removal spell during his turn. So I'm going to play the island here and probably dissolve whatever he plays next turn. I'll just take the 3. I'm going to definitely dissolve this. I assume he just didn't have it last turn because he definitely would have cast it. And that prevents quite a bit of damage. I can probably keep this land actually because I'm going to murder his creature next turn. And I want at least another land so I can keepsake Gorgon with Monstrous. Or have Monstrous with keepsake Gorgon. So I'm just going to kill his hoplite here. Even though the soldier can do more damage, the hoplite gets extremely large if he enchants it. So I'm just going to kill it now and play a Gorgon next turn. Omen Speaker is pretty good here. I mean, not pretty good, it's just like okay. But it'll block a creature, which is all I needed to do. I basically just need to live long enough to where he can't kill me anymore. He might have Elspeths in his deck, so I would like to kill him before that's more of a factor. I'm blocking this Fabled Hero pretty much regardless of what he plays on it. Like, I'll trade the Gorgon for Fabled Hero any day of the week. Fabled Hero does so much damage. If he God's Willings and enchants it with an Ordeal, I'm dead though. Because that's 10 damage by itself. He gets 3 from the counter from the God's Willing, and then 1 from the... Excuse me. Yeah, God's Willing end of turn. I don't think that's that good unless he has another God's Willing in hand, because he could just get a bunch more damage if he just waits until his turn. Like, if he draws an Ordeal, he could God's Willing pro black and then enchant it, and then I would be dead, like, because it's 5 damage twice. 5 damage with double strike. Hopeful Eidolon? Okay. I'm like still gonna block. I can't block it. I mean, I have to block it, but you definitely should have attacked with both of those creatures, because I can't block this or I die. I'm gonna play Omen Speaker Ashiok. Omen Speaker to block this guy and try to draw a murder or a Hero's Downfall, which I'm just gonna call murder throughout the entire video now. I don't want these lands don't save me. And Ashiok maybe ripping a... It doesn't really matter. He's probably going to attack with a soldier this turn because it's very unlikely he makes the same mistake twice. So I got a Wingstead Rider, which I'm going to play off Ashiok next turn, just for an extra blocker. So I can block his Fabled Hero and save my Keepsake Gorgon so I can Monstrous it. So he's attacking Ashiok with the soldier. I'm going to resize my client a little here so it doesn't keep bugging out. So Ashiok's at 3, so I want to cast the Wingstead Rider, which I guess I'm going to do anyway. Yeah. I can't really afford to keep Ashiok because I need this Gorgon to stay alive, so I can monstrous it. Because this Fabled Hero is just crushing me right now. I still don't like using the God's Willing end of turn, because he can just enchant with the Eidolon, and then God's Willing next turn. I'm like 100% dead. But instead, I can still survive this game. Oh wait, I can't block that Wingstead Rider. I need to block those Fabled Hero. So I'm just taking 2 off the Wingstead Rider. He could Divine Verdict my Keepsake Gorgon if he plays that main deck. But not a lot of people are playing that, and I honestly don't think it's that good. That's 5 damage to me, with a Scry attached to it. It's very annoying how Moto bugs out like this, but I can't really do anything about it, or I've done everything I can. So he has 2 5/5s in play now. Thoughtseize doesn't really do much, but I guess I can't even cast it actually because I need 7 mana. So I can block his Fabled Hero and kill his Wingstead Rider, then draw Murder and only deal with Hopeful Eidolon. I think that's my best shot. Maybe I can just Keepsake Gorgon and take a 3. That might be my better... No. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I block the Fabled Hero. I Keepsake Gorgon, the Wingstead Rider. The Gorgon grows to a 3/6. I take the first hit of Fabled Hero. Oh, he's just doing that. Oh, I'm going to kill it. Actually, I can kill it end of turn, I think. Because I don't want him to God's Willing me. Because that would be an extra damage. And he'd save his creature. Whereas maybe I can do something with the extra. Yep, and there's Hero's Downfall. So I'll just pass turn and kill it during his upkeep, since he definitely would have used a God's Willing if he had one. But just in case he does, there's no reason to cast it during my main when I can cast it during his upkeep. I didn't attack with my Gorgon because his Hopeful Eidolon can very easily kill me. 2 Thoughtseize. So Thoughtseize is my deadish draw right now. Like, even land is better. So this Thoughtseize is not looking too good. It's actually one of the few situations in matchups where Whip of Erebos is good, because it allows me to gain life to escape his reach. Like, if he gets some sort of enchantment and a God's Willing, he could kill me pretty easily. I can't attack, so I'll just get a Swamp. Because the only double blue spell in my deck is Dissolve, and there's no way I can draw 2 of those. I mean, I can draw 2 of those, it's just unlikely I draw 2 and I'll draw an island in between them. So you play this Soldier. Need to draw something. Another Gorgon's extremely good. That lets me kill his Soldier and start attacking. If he has a God's Willing, though, I'm dead, so... That's pretty much been the case for a very long time now. In fact, I was dead to it previously, and somehow escaped my death. So I'm dead to God's Willing on this and this, so I just pass turn and wait for him to God's Willing. Just sit on my Gorgons. Hopefully I draw an Ashiok soonish. Ashiok or a Hyphonia. Something to put me above 2 life. Doesn't exist. Oh, Read the Bones. I can't cast Read the Bones either. So I can't draw Read the Bones, I can't draw Thoughtseize. I'm fine drawing any of my Gorgons, Dissolve, Downfall, and Ashiok. Here's Voyage is fine too. For some reason these two just switch positions. There's a Swamp. He could even draw an enchantment. He has not drawn an enchantment this game. Oh no. Okay, so I block here, and he might like target this and make that a 2. I think I'm dead here, I just don't know how he's doing it yet. So I assume he also has God's Willing, because there's no way he'd just walk into this. And there's the God's Willing. Okay, so I like post-board a lot more than pre-board, because I get to, I'm taking out that Read the Bones I just accidentally put in, by the way. I get to take out these dissolves, Read the Bones. Actually, dissolve isn't that bad. Ashiok and board in all these Freaka's Cures. What else do I want? I kind of want a Read the Bones at least. Maybe one another Baleful Eidolon. Baleful Eidolon's not that good in this matchup because it's very hard to block Fabled Hero and Soul. What's it called? Favored Hoplite, because it prevents damage to itself. So Baleful Eidolon's not extremely good in this matchup. I could either play another Read the Bones or an Ashiok or Dissolve. I think those are my options here. So I have one Read the Bones, which I don't want. I definitely don't want 3 Read the Bones in my deck. I at least want 1. So maybe I go for 2, or I could play Ashiok, which is very similar. And he likes it. He attacked it last game, which I don't think he needed to. I think it would have been easier if he just hadn't attacked with it. Hadn't attacked it, so maybe he'll make the same mistake and attack Planeswalkers. So I will play first. This hand's awful. It only has 1 land in it. So second turn, cast my Omen Speaker, hope I get a land. An untapped land. I'd probably keep a Hero's Downfall on top, but I don't think I'd keep anything else. Yeah, I'm not keeping this Dissolve. Because I want to draw lands to cast Typhonia, and I don't want to draw Dissolve and then more non-dissolve spells, like more non-land spells, because then I will never cast any Gorgons I draw. I'm gonna go ahead and plus this. That Cavalry Pegasus is really annoying, actually. It makes all his creatures very hard to block. Makes Omen Speaker and Baleful Eidolon almost useless. Probably grabbing an island with this Traveler's Amulet. So he's attacking Ashiok. If he plays a Fabled Hero, I'm just Snap Doom Blading it, or murdering it, Hero's Downfalling it. I'm doing some things to it, that's for sure. So he's got a Phalanx Leader and a one untapped mana source. I'm gonna get an island here. Use my Ashiok for the plus ability. I can't block Phalanx Leader, so I'm gonna just attack with my. He has a Divine Verdict this time. I assume to kill my blocking creatures. I'm gonna cast that Pegasus off of my Ashiok so I can block his Pegasus. Force him to use something on it. Or let the Pegasus trade. Pegasi. It's attacking Ashiok. He could Dauntless Escort his guys to kill my Ashiok. It doesn't look like he has it. Dauntless, not Dauntless Escort, Dauntless Assault, I think. The +2/+2 to 2 separate creatures. I think if he just Battle Eyes Valors, I don't think I care. Because that makes it a 2/2, 4/4, 5/5, 6/6. Actually, let's kill my Ashiok. So I'll go ahead and kill this, or try to. Since Ashiok's not taking additional damage if he God's Willings it. His Cavalry Pegasus is a 2-2 now, which is unfortunate. Temple's a pretty good draw. There's no point in casting his Cavalry Pegasus now because it's larger than mine. So I'm just going to +2 him and attack for 1. Keepsake Gorgon's pretty good. So we got a Hopeful Eidolon, a Ringstead Rider, and a Soldier. Might just cast the Hopeful Eidolon for the... Nah, the Wingstead Rider trades with his Pegasus. So I can try to cast that. Ashiok's at 6. I assume he has a Verdict in his hand, since he hasn't cast any creatures. He might have a Spear in his hand as well. There's a Wingstead Rider. I'm gonna go ahead and murder this so I can cast my Gorgon. And my own Wingstead Cavalry, or Wingstead Rider. Wingsteed Rider. I don't know what he does on my upkeep here. The B deck always at least 2 downfalls in the top 10 cards. I agree. Yeah, Scry's pretty good. I've definitely looked at least 15 cards. Gonna -3 this. And make him use a combat trick to deal with this rider. Get this. Someone Speaker's doing work this game. Scry 2 and then attack for 4. What else can you ask for on a card? I guess it could fly. I guess that'd be pretty good. Yeah, I'd rather it fly than attack for 4. So you could give this pro white. That'd be kind of a waste of a God's Willing. But if you really wanted to kill my Ashiok, you could. Yeah, I think that's a waste of God's Willing. Because like I have a Gorgon in play, and Ashiok's gonna take at least 2 more turns to do anything. So I think he just dedicated way too much into killing Ashiok. Like he swung it for at least 8 damage, maybe 10. And of course, like he had to swing some damage at it because it would be ulting by now. But like I don't think there's a reason to go for it every single turn. I think that's just kind of sloppy. If I attack with everything, I'm pretty sure he verdicts my Keepsake Gorgon. So I'm just gonna attack with these 2 because I want to keep my Gorgon around. And then I'll play my big Gorgon. Like I could have swung into the Divine Verdict for the Keepsake Gorgon to let Hythonia swing in, but I'd much rather have a Doomblade than have Hythonia being unable to be Divine Verdicted, you know? So if I draw an untapped land, I can kill this Pegasus, but I think I'm probably more likely to draw a Scryland than an untapped land. Our Hero's Downfall, that's pretty good too. So I'll stop on my opponent's upkeep and kill his Pegasus. Right? Yes. Okay, so he's a Hopeful Eidolon now. And that's game. Didn't even need to draw my Pharika's Cures, which would have been pretty much the same thing as Hero's Downfall in that game. The exception being the very last one when I kill a 3-3. So, if he's playing Pegasi, might not want this Baleful Eidolon, but I really don't want anything else either, you know? Like, Curse of the Swine is... I'm going to try Curse of the Swine. Let's not 2 of them, I just want to try 1. I'll take out a Baleful Eidolon for it. And I think that's what I want to do. I mean, I could take out more Baleful Eidolons for Disciples. That actually might be fine, honestly. Baleful Eidolon's only really good against... Yeah, I want to take out these Baleful Eidolons. Pegasi makes him pretty bad, and the Cavalry Pegasus does not help matters at all. Plus, he has creatures that are just naturally good against it, like the Favored Hoplite, the Fabled Hero, and the Wingstead Rider. So the only thing I'm really killing is Phalanx Leader. And I think getting a removal spell or God's Willing out of his hand would be much better. This hand's not the best because I don't have Pharika's Cure mana. I'm a swamp away, but Omen Speaker makes it keepable. I think if this were like a Gorgon, I would mulligan it. Or I'm on the draw. I probably wouldn't mulligan it, but I probably should. I will keep my 7. He went to 6. Hopefully he doesn't have a very quick draw here. Soldier, okay. I'm much less scared of Soldier than I am of... I'm much less scared of Soldier than I am of Favored Hoplite, because Favored Hoplite does a lot more damage than Soldier if you put an Ordeal on it. I haven't seen an Ordeal all match yet. Like, where are they? Ordeals are absurd. They're how you get most of your wins in this deck. Please, Swamp. Please, just once. Thoughtseize. So I guess I'll just play Omen Speaker here. I'm going to bottom at least one of these because the Traveler's Amulet is going to shuffle something away. So if I go Freakus Cure with the Swamp and then shuffle with the Island, I'll put this on the bottom and this on the top. So that way I can block his Soldier or his Leader. I don't really think it matters which one I block. Okay, I guess I just block his Leader then. I'm actually kind of glad I cast that because now I'm less reserved about Pharika's curing his Leader. Though I guess he had to since he mulliganed to 6, was it? I think it was 6. Yeah, he mulliganed to 6. So, Pharika's cure his Leader. I'm gonna just leave my Omen Speaker back to block because I don't want him to put an enchantment on it and then attack. And I'm gonna grab a Swamp here. So next turn I can cast Thoughtseize and Ashiok. And I really want to draw Gorgon at some point here. A 5 mana Gorgon. I'll just take the damage. This could be a Wingstead Rider, it could be a Hopeful Eidolon. Yeah, Fabled Hero. Much rather. So I Thoughtseize is Battle-Wise Valor. And then play... I can either leave open Dissolve for any enchantment, or play Ashiok, block his Fabled Hero, and Ashiok takes 3, but resolves. And then next turn try to draw Gorgon, or maybe a 1-drop I get off Ashiok. And if he draws into 0, I think if he draws a combat spell, he's going to use it to kill Ashiok. So it'll be like the same thing as Dissolve, and then I'll have Dissolve next turn. So I think I'm just going to play Ashiok, plus it, and pass the turn. And he gains a life. So I did not get a 1-drop off of it, which is what I wanted, but I'll manage to deal. I did get 3 creatures off the top of his deck. So he's attacking with both. He's not attacking Ashiok with both creatures, just one of them. So I can actually block here, take 3 off the Soldier, then cast my own Fabled Hero, and leave open Dissolve. Fabled Hero blocks his Soldier for pretty much free. So get a Fabled Hero and leave open Dissolve in case he wants to combat trick me. So you can attack with both, but I'm just gonna block his Soldier. Annoying thing about Spear is he can kill any creatures I try to attack him with. So it's very hard to kill him with things that aren't Ashiok, basically. Because all my creatures do like 3 damage. At most. I guess Hythonia does 7 at most, but she's the exception. So I assume both are going at Ashiok. Both are going at me. Huh. So I can take 6 and go to 3 and counterspell whatever he tries to kill me with. I think that's fine. This keeps Ashiok alive and my Fabled Hero alive. Whereas if I didn't have the dissolve, I would just have to block his Fabled Hero. God's Willing his guy. If I let this resolve, let me try to resize this so it's easier to see. That's not gonna do it. So he's God's Willing his soldier for white, presumably. So if he has Battlewise Viler, specifically Battlewise Viler in his hand, I'm dead because that's 10 damage. But if I let this resolve, I go to 3. So this resolves. I cast Tithonia next turn. My Ashiok is at 2. So I can get the Cavalry Pegasus and the Tithonia, block his guy and block Tithonia there, or block his Pegasus and block Tithonia here. So that lives. That makes me live. Like I wouldn't. My Ashiok would be dead, but I'd have Tithonia in play. But then I'd be pretty hard pressed to win. I think I'm gonna counter his God's Willing and hope he doesn't have Battlewise Valor. That's actually kind of greedy. Honestly, it's probably just not the play. Yeah, I'll play it safe this time. I don't think he has Battlewise Valor, but just in case he does, I don't want to get blown out by it. So Ashiok dies. And I play Tithonia. So I'm gonna block his soldier with Tithonia and his Pegasus is a hero with Pegasus. Next turn maybe Voyages and his hero or something. Doomblade it maybe. Or if I draw a murder, I can murder it. The only attacks with this, I'm just only gonna block with Pegasus. Very easily. Hero's Downfall's a very good draw there. I'm gonna upkeep kill his hero. Actually, I probably should do that during my turn so he doesn't choose pro black and kill me. Might be better for me. So now he could pro black my his soldier. I think that's what he wants to do. I'm gonna go and counter that. Actually, if I counter that and he has God's Willing, I'm dead, so I guess I won't counter that. Drawing a couple land would be very good too, because I would get to start making Tithonia a card. Okay, I need to draw land next turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and Voyages in this now. No, I can't Voyages in it now, or I would... Yeah. So perhaps I should have gotten Island with Traveler's Amulet, but I thought I would draw another blue source by now. This is where it's kind of where my bad mana base is going to kill me, because if I had an Island here, I could Voyages in and Dissolve fairly easily. But since I don't, I have to... I could just Voyages into Soldier, actually. Then he couldn't kill me with Pegasus Soldier. So I Voyages in his Pegasus and he kills me with... It has a God's Willing. Actually, I think I'm dead to God's Willing either way, so I'll just bounce this Soldier. That way he can't draw God's Willing to kill me next turn. And pass turn. I need an untapped land. This is not good enough. Because I can block, I can bounce this Pegasus, because the Pegasus puts me at 1 this turn. But if I bounce this Pegasus and he draws God's Willing, he can kill me. Whereas if I bounce his Pegasus, or bounce his Soldier, he can't kill me with God's Willing because I already can't block it. Though this kills me to Battlewise Valor. Another Dissolve, I'm dead. So I don't know why I didn't cast a Soldier. I guess in case I drew the land to kill his Pegasus, yeah, that's probably for the best. See, he crushed me easily. And there's the untapped land. So, unfortunate game there. I don't think it was incorrect to get a swamp at the beginning, because it's the only thing that requires triple blue in my deck is Dissolve and Voyage's End. And since I only had 2 Dissolves in my deck at that point, I think, it was like very unlikely that would happen. Whereas the 4 Farika's Cures I had is way better to like have a Farika's Cure open and some black spell. So I don't regret getting the island with the amulet. I still think it was right. I think most of my plays were right that game. I can't go back and look at replays anymore because they took out that feature. I have to like wait until the tournament's over. I have no motivation to do that anymore. But I think that was a close game, and most of the games in this deck are like that. Honestly, that's the one thing about Whip. Whip was good at gaining a bunch of life, but since there's only one of them, it was very unreliable. So like maybe I put Whip in instead of Erebos, but the heroic matchup isn't usually that bad. Like usually they play enchantments. Like the all combat trick one he was playing is actually much better against me than the enchantment one, because the enchantment one loses so much card equity enchanting their creatures. So we'll try to do better in round 2.